All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Not a lot going on, so let's jump into it. Hopefully, we could do a quicker video here. And so, the first thing that I did here was close out the Soundhound position, and I'll show you where at 1260, like right here. Half of that was luck about when I looked at it. And the other half, so then I go, on the daily and I look, this could be a good spot. Definitely happy with the gains. And especially with options, you want to sell into strength for sure. Certainly luck involved with that spot where I got out. But anyways, so those were July 18, $10 calls. And again, so these were pretty long dated, so you guys are going to see, I'm sure everybody sees people posting, massive gains in a very short amount of time with options that are, very short dated. And that's cool. That certainly works. You can have a really good system for that. It's just the problem is when you're wrong, those are basically going to end up worthless, and then, so you got to be willing to risk 100% or be willing to get really chopped in and out of a position, because you're going to be looking more at intraday charts if your options are expiring in a couple days or, a week or whatever the case is. So not saying that those can't work, I mean, some people are very successful at that. So I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying you can still make outsized gains with a rather conservative position. So, like I said, these are July 18, $10 strike price. I paid $153 and sold for $330, which is 115% gain. So like I said, you can still make outsized returns in a very short amount of time. This was 4 trading days with a long dated, call option, and longer dated, I should say, still not long, but longer, it's still fantastic return, 115% in 3 days, with a more conservative take on it. And yes, this is a massive move. So this is not typical, right? That's not a typical return that I would ever expect. But for a stock like this is not something that is that surprising. So, I just, I'm not knocking on, shorter dated call options or, any intraday trading or anything like that. I'm just showing that you can get very fantastic gains and still take a more conservative approach than people tend to think that they need to do. So anyways, I'm all out of these. This is certainly on the watch list, and I will definitely be going after this again. And this still looks absolutely fantastic. If you're more longer term, I mean, shoot, this looks so good, weekly, monthly, this looks fantastic. It's just, again, with options, you kind of have to pick your spots and sort of get in, get out. But if I had an equity position, there's no way I'm selling it there, for example, So that's that. I'll definitely look to get back into that. And then I did something else that we'll go over at the end. So MicroStrategy, I'm still in these, 330 is the average cost basis, and like I've been saying for this whole time, I'm not going to be adding in here. But man, is this working really good. It's respecting the 9-day EMA. And so that just shows lots and lots of strength, right? Let's look at Bitcoin while we're at it, so I can kind of come up with more of a game plan. Yeah, that didn't help me come up with more of a game plan other than what I still think of just wait and see. This still looks good. This is fine. You know, it's whatever. All right. So SoundHound MicroStrategy GTX. This is an equity position. This just keeps grinding higher. So yeah, average cost base is 1083, 1204. This is working out fantastically, and you know, like just like with MicroStrategy, I don't understand how you would be adding here. I don't know what you would be risking. So, you know, I'm not going to add here. I'm certainly going to add to this, that's for sure. But not right now. And, yeah, this looks great. This is such a huge base. You know, that big shakeout below $8, which I was in, and sold out below $8, and then, you know, kind of forget about this, right? But and then caught it way later. much later. But yeah, this still looks really good. If you guys aren't in this one, it's definitely to keep on a watch list. This is a huge, nice long base here. And then you have really good volume that's been coming in, steady volume, right? So this is institutional volume that's been coming in. So yeah, even though they have lots of ways of hiding it, they still can't completely hide it. So yeah, and it shows. And on the monthly chart, this just looks fantastic. There's no reason to sell this for a very, very long time. You know, and especially if this you know, bull market continues on. Short term, I don't know. I'm certainly skeptical. But so there's that. EWG. I'm still in these calls. It's a terrible day, man. Horrible day. I don't really have an opinion on this. I'll certainly add to these. You know, if it meets my criteria. This is kind of a position that was forced. And I really should have just got out. But that's okay. They're longer dated call options, and it is what it is. So these are I didn't write down how much these are actually at, but so July 18 is the expiration, $39 strike price. I paid $235, and yesterday they were 172, so it's probably a little bit less now. I don't really know, but you know, terrible close, and I won't be surprised if this comes back down here to like 39.50 level, and that would be cool. I would add to it around this 21-day moving average, so long as it kind of came up, respected it, and moved back up. But yeah, I mean, so this is at all-time highs. There's no reason to be of concern here. So moving on over to gold. Now with gold, let's look at gold on the futures chart here, because that's really what I watch. And you know, right here at this 50-day moving average. Now I do think gold's bull market here is over, and now the more that I look at this could very well be a double top that has broken through this neckline, and probably kind of dumb to go after this, but at the same time, this is right at the 50-day moving average. Gold has been in a massive bull market. So I'm in much more of a conservative position than I was up here. I was in a much more aggressive position, knowing I was going to just hold this for like a day or whatever that was. And or did it, when did I get it? But anyways, yeah. So this much more conservative position, I have some debit spreads on here. So those are June 13, 295 on the long call, 305 on the short call, 358 is what I paid for those. Those are currently 346, and I'll show you exactly where I got in on these. So after this, what appeared to be a nice shakeout with heavy volume, followed by a nice boom up right here. This is where I got in right here, on this candlestick right here, and I thought personally that this was a killer spot, and if this would have continued higher, I would have added to this. And in fact, I did make a futures trade in here, right in here, and but this all failed, which was very surprising to me, and so whatever. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, whatever. It's worth a shot at the 50-day moving average. It's certainly worth a shot, right? Gold isn't a massive bull market. Now, granted, I do think that the bull market is over, but it is fairly rare for something to just blow directly through the 50-day moving average, although it certainly happens, and, all through December and January, maybe February, things were blowing straight through the 50-day moving average. It seemed like every position that I would start at the 50-day moving average just get blown straight through it. So, so when I say it's rare, it did seem to happen like every trade from December, January, and February. So, but nonetheless, it is rare. But it certainly happens, obviously. And so those are all the positions that I have, so this month has been a fantastic month, and last month was good as well. So, as of now, there's no need to push for anything. I'm out of like everything really, and that's how it should be. There's no need to force anything here. Like I've been saying for the last couple days, if you've missed this rally, there's no need to FOMO into anything here. It's all about what are you risking? What are you missing out on is really one of the most difficult things to be at peace with. But that's why it's one of the most rewarding. It's so difficult. Like, for example, on this day right here, I'll show you this day. Yeah, right. So we'll just do this. So this day right here, in terms of any day trading, for futures, which I do like to do, by the time that this move had happened, this was already in an extended territory. So the stochastic way up here, RSI way up here, right? So my rules tell me I can't go after this. And so then look, I just watched this entire day. I didn't do it. Look at this. This is insane. So I missed all of this. And this was the day or the day prior that I sold out of those equity index positions, and look, this is insane. Now I did catch a little bit, but still, it wasn't until down here that I got anything. When was this? Yeah. So, I watched all morning for like 3 hours going straight up, and it's really, really difficult to do, and it sucks. But I still feel like we're in that similar position here. We're like, what are you risking? Where do you know if you're wrong, for what return, right? I mean, yeah. So that's how I view everything. That's how I currently see, NASDAQ. And so I'll move over to ES, and it's going to look the exact same, really. NASDAQ looks a little bit stronger than ES. But, yeah, I mean, you can see things are kind of rolling over. And that's why it also gave me another, seeing Dow. And today was really, really sketchy out there. Just not much volume at all. Just really sketchy. This is after hours in Dow? Huh. Yeah, so, wow. Yeah, it's definitely down pretty big after hours. So, yeah, my opinion stays the same. For a short term here, we're talking about Russell. Yeah, my opinion stays the same. I won't go after this. But so that gave me a little bit more confidence going into gold. But now the more that I look at this, the more I feel like I'll get out of this a lot quicker than what I previously thought. So, yeah, wow, I'm really only looking for a 100-point move now. It's going to be a very small gain. But so be it. All right. Yeah, and basically that's my whole thought process. When I think through things, that was it right there. Come to a decision, make a decision, trade the decision, trade your plan, right? If it turns out to be the wrong plan, then at least you know what you did wrong and you can adjust from there, right, in future trades. But you have a plan, take the trade, don't hesitate, boom, boom, boom. Fits the criteria, cool, get in, you know what you're risking. You can kind of figure out what the reward is as the trade is taken, but certainly know what you're risking, boom, right away. And you're like, okay, I know I'm comfortable with that amount of risk. Everything else meets my criteria. I'm comfortable with that risk. Boom, take the trade, look at the reward, and go from there. So, yeah. All right. So now we'll go over to Mag 7 here. Stop talking. I haven't done a psychology video in a little bit. Maybe that's on the order. If you guys haven't checked out those psychology videos, they may be pretty lame to watch, but just because the editing, there isn't any editing, but I believe you'll certainly find some value in those, and they aren't ideas that I came up with. So don't you worry there. They're just ones I've applied. Tesla. So NVIDIA. Tesla had a great day. NVIDIA actually. Let's look at these on a weekly chart now. And when you look at this on a monthly chart, I mean, this could, on a next pullback, Tesla could be unbelievably good. I mean, this monthly chart, even with from 270, even 100, was that 30 something percent? On a monthly chart, this doesn't even look like. Look at this down here, stochastic, way down here in the RSI at 58. I mean, are you kidding me? Tesla can stay at a monthly RSI of 80 for like an eternity. Yeah, when was this? This was like 3 years in a row. So, I mean, Tesla's certainly something to watch. That is for sure. So Tesla, okay, so we'll go over here to NVIDIA, and NVIDIA's up after hours. Yeah, it's almost like NVIDIA's got the green light to go after again. Wow, yeah, seeing same thing. But then again, if you look at this on a monthly chart, I mean, look at how jagged and sporadic this thing looks. I mean, this is quite the chart. If you just look at this, right, like on the left hand side, and then look at this character change, right? I mean, huge bearish engulfing candle, really jagged, tries to come out but rolls over and gets blasted multiple times. This is a tough one to read. I personally, for my style, if you just look at it, right? I mean, look at how different it is, right? Like, look at this. This is beautiful, super easy to read, easy to sort of trade. I mean, it just forces you to get into this. I mean, whereas here, it's like it's a completely different looking chart. So that's my 2 cents on it. I mean, not that I don't think it can work, because it's one of the best companies in the world, and I certainly root for them, but it's just as tough. It doesn't quite meet the eye for me. Oh shoot, let's go to our old friend Taiwan Semiconductor. And yeah, whatever. Now, since we're on it, let's look at AMD. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, now we'll look at Microsoft. Yeah, cool. Doing good. I have the same thoughts as I did yesterday. So I really have the same thoughts as, from yesterday. There's, not much has changed today in terms of equities. Google, yeah, this looks like a bottoming pattern, but I don't know. I don't know with Google. I don't have an opinion. Same thing here with Apple. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. It's over the 50-day moving average, so that's good. I don't have an opinion. I don't exactly know what you'd be risking. There's a whole gap down here at 200, so you got to be risking at least 5% here for 5%, roughly, less. So I don't know. I don't have an opinion with Apple. I want to take a trade in Apple. I don't know. Meta, again, I mean, this looks good, right? But to start a position here, same thing. What are you risking here? What would you actually risk? I see lots of people a lot less these days. This isn't really common, actually. When I say I see lots of people, I just thought about, I haven't seen this for quite a while. But when a stock is really run up, I see lots of people put their stop below the low of the previous day. And that's sort of kind of like an arbitrary way of saying, I have a defined risk. I checking the boxes, right? I know what I'm risking. I have a stop loss, check. But really, I think it's to make them feel more comfortable with FOMOing into something, So I'm not an advocate of that. So that's that. Maybe you guys have made it work, I don't know. Some of these people that I mentioned were pretty good, sort of good. They were good. They were successful. I don't really see them around anymore though, so I can't really tell. I have no clue. Again, here with Amazon, I mean, shoot, what would you do? I mean, could you do the same thing where you kind of like set the stop loss pure? I wouldn't go after this. All right, let's look at Netflix. Oh shoot, I wasn't even looking at Netflix today. Wow. At 40, stochastic at 40. So, according to Tao of Trading, this is acceptable to go after. Very interesting. Although with market indexes, what I would think would be rolling over. I would be more hesitant here. Netflix is showing so much strength. I wonder if you just go after it, you know? And then put the stop loss below the previous day's low. Alright. That's it. I don't know. Now we're going off on tangents on other things. Let's look at Roblox. Bam! 3% day. Oh, man. Oh. Sheesh. That's awesome with Roblox. It's good to see. Catching Roblox right is so good. It's got a good options market, and it can certainly move fast. Through here, I've caught this. So I like Roblox. I like trading Roblox. Let's go over to our old burgers friend. Rocking and rolling. Burgers and milkshakes are back in. Bacon, cheese. Let's look at CCJ. See how some nuclear energy's doing. I don't know. Okay, now let's go over some sectors and then we'll call it a night. We got some hockey on. This is a no-go. I don't know. I see people trying with these things, and I always ask myself, like, why? You know, it does feel so good to pick a bottom and go kind of like opposite of sentiment, you know. But it's more of like an ego trade, in my opinion, because while they can work out and it, like I said, feels great, you can make a lot of money, you also don't have to go against the trend. You don't, you know what I mean? So I typically stay away from those sorts of trades. So biotech looks terrible. Yeah, you know, I mean, but not bad enough to short, you know, because again, what would you risk if you're shorting this? So, but I just would stay away from it. Healthcare, gosh, did United Health go down again? Oh, my goodness. Whoa, 284 after hours? What the heck is going on with United Health? Investigation of Medicare fraud. Oh, criminal investigation. See, remember with that video, 2 days ago? You know, we looked at United Health and the guy said, this is a place to buy it. It's you know, this is the bottom. And that's why when I said, you know, picking a bottom is a fool's game. That's something you don't do. Don't do that. This is exactly why. See, again, if you catch it, it feels great. But that old saying, markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Wow. And this is another reason as to why sell rules are super important, right? I mean, whoa. See, this is a tough one though, right? Yeah. I mean, this is wild. This is one of the more wild things, you know, I've ever seen, United Health. Wow. That's so crazy. Let's look at what it says about how much that's gone down. My math sometimes isn't good enough to do off the top of my head. So they're down 47.5% in the last month. Whoa. Wow. So you're going to need, and that's not even with after hours, tack on another 5% to that. So now they're down over 50% in a month, which means you're going to need a gain of 100% to get back to break even if you're in this thing. Wow. United Health, that's wild. That's wild. But with that being said, the bounce back up is going to be sweet. And maybe that'll be something that'll help out Dow here. Maybe, wait for these moving averages to catch up. I'll certainly go after Dow again. So now let's go over real estate. Did we look at real estate? Yeah, we did. Looks terrible. So then bonds look terrible as well. Gosh, just hold on. Hold on. Okay. And, oh shoot, utilities. I'm supposed to be going after this here soon. Oh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Man, what time of day did this hit? Oh, first thing in the morning for the most part. Oh. Well, sugar. We gotta write this down again. XLU. Awesome. We will be going after that one. Communications, whatever. And that's it. Yeah, that's it, you guys. Hope everybody has an amazing evening. And we will catch you tomorrow, I believe. So, yeah. See ya.